Welcome back to Tune to Life. And today we're going to be talking about grooming gangs and pedophiles, which is not a very nice subject to talk about, but we felt it was necessary. I think if you're talking about things and lots of different issues, you have to talk about the things that aren't nice as well.
Yeah.
To make sure they remain on the map, make sure they remain in people's minds and get people thinking.
That's right.
And I think it's important to do that because we did a podcast a while back about Epstein files and so on, but we talked about him as a perpetrator and what he was doing and people involved in that
networks,
rather than to the victims and the kids and so on. So we thought we need to put that right and talk about what happens to the kids and the whole process of this whole thing, because it is a really, really salacious type of activity. It's terrible. But yeah, we're going to get right into it. So it is something horrible. And just looking at, say, grooming gangs, that's big.
It's big. It's a big topic at the moment. Of course it
big
is.
Topic. Lots of people covering it. But there is something that is really sad in all of this. The whole thing is sad. Don't get me wrong. The whole thing is sad. But there's something particularly sad about it because at the moment, the grooming gangs have all seemed to focus and pinpoint on a race of people of a particular religious denomination. At the moment, say Pakistani men,
that's right,
up north who are doing what they do. Now, just for myself, I'm thinking about it. The problem is bigger than them.
That's right, yeah.
It's huge. It is a global phenomenon, global problem.
That's right.
And I'm going to come back to that in a second. But years ago, when people thought about pedophiles,
That's right.
they thought of a dirty old man.
That's right. That's right.
Open up and flashing.
That's right.
And that sort of stuff. Or, hello, little girl, hello, little boy, meeting in the park and that sort of thing. Those are the images you saw in movies. But if you ask a lot of people, going back 25, 30, 35 years ago, about it, they would think, well, have you met one?
Yeah.
They would say, I've never met one.
Yeah.
I've never come across one. No one really knows anybody who's come across one 30, 40 years ago. I'm not saying they didn't exist.
That's right, yeah.
I'm saying, but there was a fear of, but no one ever came across
them, yeah.
But I remember, even as a kid, that most kids would know in a neighborhood who the dodgy adults were.
That's right, yeah, you're right.
You would know who the dodgy adults were.
Yeah.
And you stay away. They're like, come and talk to me. Stay away from me, he's horrible.
Yeah.
But it was always the vulnerable kids. And this is really important to note as well. That ordinary parents are frightened that their child will be abducted or interfered with.
Yeah.
But the chance of their child being abducted, interfered with, is going to be very small. Very, very small. Because it seems to me, in the research I've been looking at, is that the kids that are interfered with are coming from very dysfunctional homes.
That's right, yeah.
And that dysfunctionality plays out in that child in terms of their behavior. And so most kids are going to be wary of strangers.
Yeah.
Automatically a bit wary.
That's right, yeah.
A little bit suspicious, distant. But some kids who are dysfunctional, have problems at home, are not risk adverse.
That's right. So they don't get those kind of spider senses, do they?
The danger kind of thing. Have been watered down.
That's right.
And they seem to, if they're approached by strangers, they'll be more akin for the attention.
That's right, definitely.
You see, and that's what makes them vulnerable. Yeah. And this is not always talked about.
No.
On TV. They will show an image of a girl or a boy who is an average everyday boy or girl abducted or interfered with.
But not.
And you think, well, hold on. How is that gonna really happen?
Yeah, how's that possible? Because it doesn't kind of relate, does it? Really, in that kind
Yeah,
of sense.
yeah.
No, I get
And I'm not an expert, but I'm
Yeah.
just going by what
you.
I understand.
Just yeah.
And I think that if you, and I think the world has always been, can be sometimes a cruel place.
Yeah.
In so much that parents, for all different reasons,
Yeah.
sometimes not always want to be parents. Or find themselves being parents.
That's right, yeah.
Or find themselves that they're not very good parents.
That's right, very much so.
Because they have real big problems, big issues, psychological difficulties that they can't manage. Now, you might think, well, am I just a bleeding heart, sympathetic to their problems? No, I'm not. But as to what happens to a child, no, I'm not. I'm trying to understand why it happens. And I think when a parent has all these incumbent problems
and difficulties,
that they experience and does on their own, whether it man or woman.
That's right, yeah.
And they have children, and perhaps they probably shouldn't have had children. That child is undergoing all of the neglect, emotional neglect, or emotional dysfunctionality that is the offshoot from the parent.
That's right.
Onto that child. That child plays that out.
That's right.
And they may be in school. They may not go to school that much. It could be something that they're experiencing a form of abuse even at home.
Yeah.
And they may not be in care.
Yeah, that's right. No, you're right.
They may be hovering just under the radar.
That's right. And I think that's a lot of that happens.
So I can't even.
So a lot of that happens. Yeah.
A lot of that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think those kids, the predators, and they are predators. Call them perpetrators, but they're predators.
Yeah, they are.
They know exactly who to aim for.
Yeah. And Achilles' heels. They know where to go.
They know exactly what to do.
That's right. Is.
And I think that's a huge problem.
Yeah. You know what, Andrew? Also, another part of that also, and I was looking at some research, and they were saying that even, and I say normal parents in a normal household, they even struggle to have that conversation with their children about kind of those type of issues.
Well, they're not going to think about it. If somebody themselves is bereft of the concept in their mind about what they need to do to help their child, they're not even emotionally available for their child.
That's right, yeah.
Because they're so wrapped up in what's happened to them or what they feel should happen.
That's right, yeah.
What they haven't got. They're not emotionally available for that child. They can't sit down and say, listen, this is what you should do. What they're trying to do is perhaps trying to feed the child, put clothes on the back, pay the rent.
Pay the basics, yeah.
Bills coming left, right, and centre. For them, it's hard.
Yeah, I get that.
And they're not emotionally able
to, yeah.
So when you see parents like this who will attend social services if they come on their radar, and you can see the dysfunctionality.
I know, of course you can.
That parent is just not there.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you'll see people in social services saying, well, they should do this, and she should do that, and they should do this. But it's all missing some of the basic things that person hasn't got money. They're undergoing difficulties. They've got psychological problems themselves. And the problem is with social services or children's services is that they can only extend their help oftentimes only to the child to protect or safeguard that child.
That's right, yeah.
They don't have the resources
to go
for the parents.
That's right.
There's no resources there. I mean, there's little bits here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll say to the parent maybe, oh, we've got a parenting course or helping them with that 3-week program. What is that going to do?
Yeah.
Because if that parent is undergoing that, for example, that parent may not have shared that they may have been abused or physically abused or sexually abused themselves.
That's right,
Number one. Secondly, that parent may have really low self-esteem about how they think about themselves. That may not be known to service as well. They may have all sorts of things going on. Yeah? Maybe ADHD, ADD.
Yeah.
All sorts of things happening for them, which makes them ill-equipped
to
to care for
that
that child,
child. Yeah.
right? But the services are not casting their attention there.
Yeah.
They'll say, oh, you are not caring for that child, so therefore we're going to look after the child or intervene. And that's seen to the parent as another
A
punishment
failure. Yeah.
from life.
That's right. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the child suffers. I mean, you know, we work with younger people, and there are situations where I've come across, for example, a young person. Their home is dysfunctional, but they want to keep it under wraps. Their home is dysfunctional. Mum and dad are arguing, not really working out. Dad's gone off.
Yep.
Left mum around. She can't cope. All right? She's not emotionally available for her children, and certainly not for her 14-year-old son, who himself has seen the difficulty interactions at home, maybe domestic abuse and all that.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe even some things have happened to him.
That's right.
But he now will start smoking weed, self-medicate
to manage his
not doing well at school.
That's right. That's right.
Builds up an addiction.
Yep.
You see?
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so he's now doing things that he knows he shouldn't be doing. But they're only trying to deal with the symptoms.
That's right. That's right.
Not the causes. So that's him as a 14-year-old boy. But think about as a girl, right? Think about as a girl, where if you come from that background, that makes you vulnerable. Makes you vulnerable to predators.
Exposed, very exposed. Yeah, very much so.
And then you have this rhetoric as well, which I don't think helps, where there's another side to it. And there are so many angles to this. To everybody, I hope I'm not going to lose you. There are so many angles to what I'm saying that it's really difficult to try and put everything in a cohesive form and coherently explain that to you. All right? It's really hard. But then you have, I think, in my view, maybe you think I'm an old-fashioned whatever, but I think you have the over-sexualization of young girls. That's, I think, so. Really, really young girls who, in a world where predators exist, and who are smarter, they're not walking around with a raincoat and with a flashing. Those people, those predators have gone underground.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And you were saying, like, in terms of statistics, that something like how many they know about, they're monitoring 810,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
810,000 they're monitoring, roughly. They know. But that's the tip of the iceberg. That's the ones they know about.
That's right. That's right.
So they're predators now, and perpetrators, have gone underground into the dark web.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
To procure what they want to procure. But when they come actively out of that, they're looking for these vulnerable children. From the vulnerable backgrounds. Who are, and the thing about it, this is a sad thing. A young girl will wear things not really coherent about the implications. Because in her mind, it's about attention.
That's right. That's right.
And it's gaining the attention from other boys, which she never got at home. There's all those sorts of things.
No, definitely.
But not realizing that it's gaining attention to pedophiles who will track. Yeah?
Yeah.
And so that's one element of it.
Yeah.
But going back to what I was saying, and there's so many angles to this. There are so many angles there. We know about kids in care. They're again vulnerable.
Extremely
vulnerable. Because they want money again and so on, they will look to procure this and that, and it goes on and on and on.
And I think we talk about kind of in terms of money. I mean, money is the root of all evil, so to speak. But I mean, I know I was working with
money isn't.
Well, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, with people. That's right. But thinking about in terms of my mum was working with a young girl, and she was about 14 years of age, and there was concerns about the fact that she needed to get money, and one of the things that she thought the best way of procuring money was to go online and show parts of her body to strangers, and that was seen as a norm in terms of doing that just to get the money.
Now, yeah, because it's a reward, isn't it?
That's right.
It's seeing what works to get
Get
money,
money.
you know, as an exchange,
Change. That's right. Yeah.
which is bad because I think sometimes younger, see, the thing is now, younger people, 12, 13,
13,
14,
that's right.
are exposed to so much information,
now. I know you're right.
right? And I know the government's trying to do what they're trying to do to safeguard young
yeah.
people, but they don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Because, in my humble opinion, they're coming from a different background, not really recognizing what happens on the street
for young people. Yeah.
And so there's this big mismatch about how they're going to tackle it. So if we lock down TikTok, lock down Snapchat, lock down this, you can't enter it. They don't get it.
They don't get it at
They
all.
just don't get it.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. I don't know if anybody agrees, but I think that if a younger person is coming from a family that is deprived, doesn't have money, and you see on television fast cars, money, music.
Right.
You see, you want, even younger people lust after things.
Of course they do.
Clothes, money,
yeah.
attention, notoriety, popularity. They crave after these things. And now we're in such a materialistic, socially bereft time where people just are, they don't want to know you for what you've got.
That's right. That's right.
Right? That they themselves think, well, how do I compete in that world? They want to compete in that world, whether boy or girl. So if they can make money or gain the popularity by doing that, they will do it to get money.
That's right.
So even if you stop these social media, they'll still do it. Because an ordinary middle class man or woman talk about these problems will only see it as, sexting is not blah, 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 or exchanging, naked pictures is just a... What are you talking about? This is what sometimes maybe some middle class children are doing.
That's right, yeah.
Which is inappropriate. But the real root of it is far deeper.
Deeper than that, that's right.
Because other kids are doing it for money.
That's right.
They're getting an exchange on this.
That's right.
Yeah? So that they can get the trainers, get the clothes, get the makeup, get things for it.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is this. You'll find, again, some boys and girls who go out there and they get into trouble, known by the police. These are the vulnerable kids.
That's right.
These are vulnerable kids. So when that child now, who's got in trouble with the police, doing this, doing that, they're known to be sexually active with other young people and so on. They then go to the police and say they've been molested or something's happened. Maybe they're not believed.
No, often on occasions.
You see?
Yep.
Because they're known to the police. They're known already. And those are the ones that are vulnerable. You see? And from what I've understood with the research is that the problems are different here as they are different in different parts of Europe.
World, that's right, yeah.
As they are different into the world. But the mechanics for the perpetrators, the predators, are the same. You see?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
The way in which the kids operate is different to some extent. And I'll give an example so you understand what I'm saying, guys. You'll find in the UK, there'll be kids who will, who come from difficult home circumstances. And they will sort of walk the streets, mess about, just do stuff, or whatever the case may be. And they may be targeted. I mean, I need to come back to what I originally talked about, which is about the Pakistani grooming gangs. They'll be targeted by people, whatever, sometimes even slightly older young men.
Yeah.
And get involved that way. And some areas within the UK, they may be targeted by men who may be acting independently or in smaller groups. Now, I think say, for example, in parts of up north, like Rotherham, whatever
Yes,
it is,
yeah.
where there's a large ethnic minority, where probably 20%, 25% of a particular town are maybe
yeah.
Pakistani or whatever it is. And you'll have a few people within that group who are visibly different, and again, their religious demeanor is different, who have a crude way of going about it.
Yes.
See? Visibly. So they'll pick on the vulnerable girls
Yeah.
in exchange for money.
Yes. Drugs, alcohol, all those kind of things.
Don't hide it.
Yeah.
Drive around in the car.
That's it, yeah.
20-year-old boy, 25-year-old boy,
Yeah.
with a girl that's 13 or 14 in the car, seen,
Yeah.
and then nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And you would have the image that sometimes these children are coming from very closeted, careful homes, and they're not. They're coming from sometimes homes that are troubled, that have their problems.
That's right.
Deprivation, no money,
That's right.
difficulties.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're drawn
That's right.
and easily persuaded by a strange guy saying, "Here's some money. Here's some money."
Yeah.
No, I'm 20 years old, or the guy lies, he's 22, 23,
That's right.
lies saying that he's 16 and he's not, drive around the car, and the girl will know that he's older than what he is. But then it's
an exchange. It's for her.
Money.
That's right.
But the guy, make this very clear, right, is exploiting her vulnerabilities.
That's right.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
He's exploiting those vulnerabilities. Yeah? And then something terrible happens.
Yeah.
You know, gang raped and all that sort of stuff and whatever. But the problem is, when they talk about consent, and they said it's consent, but, you know, we have to understand something here. There are all these semantics and these words that people throw about. And you can throw about whatever you want to throw about to argue a point in a balanced way or whatever it is. But look, however you want to put it, however nicely or how delicately you want to put this, these are predators.
They are predators, there's no doubt about that.
Who are looking,
that's right,
just like an animal.
Yeah.
Right? Or a lion. He wants to get a group of gazelle or a group of wild beasts or whatever it is, and he's looking for the weakest one. He's not going to attack the strongest, fastest.
No, of course not.
He's going to attack the weakest one, the most vulnerable. And he's going after her.
Yeah.
So you can articulate what you want. What happens, these guys are going after young girls that they can see are vulnerable.
Vulnerability, that's right.
They can see that.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter whether the girl sees him as a boyfriend or not, whatever it is.
Right, yeah.
She is vulnerable and she doesn't even know.
No.
She's volatile. And he knows
Yeah.
that if he throws a bit of change her way,
that's right.
What is she enamored with? The money.
That's right.
She may have eventually some sort of affection for him, but it's not real affection because she's not emotionally available for him.
That's right. She's not much available for herself.
Yes.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what the attachment is now is money. It's an exchange.
That's right.
Yeah? That's what's going on. And he knows it.
Yeah.
So it ain't about, oh, well, she consented.
No.
He knows it's nothing to do with consent. He knows that he threw money at it. And she knows that if she lets him do something, she will get rewarded at the end of it. You see?
Yeah. And you know what? Quite often, Andrew, one of the other things that I think plays a part in this is that
which is sad.
It's very sad. I think that, you know, you get young people, especially in care, that kind of want to rebel, that kind of want to fight because of the fact that their voices aren't heard.
No, I'm not into that.
You're not into that. Not into that.
Me personally, you can argue that.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
Because I think that is, personally, it's a way in which people can sit there and deliberate as to how children react to things because they forget themselves they were once
Still,
kids.
No, what I'm saying though is this.
No, I hear you. I hear you. We need to have that debate.
Okay, right,
That's
okay.
important.
Okay,
So
okay.
put your story forward.
No. What I'm trying to say is this.
Yeah.
Is that we know that obviously, young people just generally, let alone kind of the whole care kind of situation. When you're growing up, there's kind of this kind of say anti-authoritative. There's that kind of that kind of development thing that kind of kicks in at kind of 13, 14, where you could a bit more kind of resistant.
Depends on where you're coming from. In my view, it depends on the household you're coming from.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt.
Yeah, if you're coming from a loving household that doesn't have economic
difficulties,
issues,
disruptive,
it's loving, supportive, you're not going to be that way.
No,
you're going to be cautious about strangers. You're not really gonna. That's going to happen to you unless you find yourself trapped in a situation where you were frightened and somebody exploited you at that time against your will in that situation.
Yeah.
That's a whole different ballgame in my books. But the way how these disgusting men operate is that they will sniff out.
Of course.
Look at the girls in the local neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an easy target.
Yeah.
That's one there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah.
Definitely.
And chat. Do, make them laugh, whatever it is, and say, yeah, I'm going shopping, you want to come shopping? And then buy them things.
Yeah, of course.
Now,
And
these girls can't buy.
Of course not.
They're already vulnerable because of the way they're thinking. And the background they're coming from.
That's right. Yep.
So, and and she might say, well, buy me this. And he just gives her 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. Oh.
And she's like, wow, I know, amazing.
Okay.
That's the first time I've got that, or whatever the case may be.
And so she's thinks now in her mind, I'm gonna get money off him. I'm gonna get money off him. I'm gonna use him. But then he puts a caveat with that now. I'll give you money if she thinks about it. She's not in a position to make any
kind of decision. Of course not.
She's not in a position to make a decision.
That's right.
She can't make a coherent, clear, balanced decision.
That's right.
Because she's already vulnerable.
Oh, that's right. Of course. That's right.
Yeah? Vulnerable. You're not making because if she moves on 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years from there, she'll look back and regret everything she's done.
That's right.
Because she knows that she wasn't in a mental place to make that decision.
And I think that's scarred for life.
So what happens that they take advantage of that.
That's right.
And because she thinks, well, I want money, I want the item, I'll let them do it. Because the reality is, again, some of these girls have already been sexually active. Yeah? And they've seen them learn in a very basic way that sex can get them things.
It's transactional, isn't it, in some sense, in that kind of regards? So you kind
in
of
one way or
exchange.
another.
Yeah.
Whether it's attention, or whether it's getting to do, whatever it might be. Yeah? For whatever reason. And so I think, well, if I let that transaction happen, I will keep getting what I'm getting.
Right.
But these guys aren't just interested in the transaction.
That's right.
They want to fully exploit.
That's right.
And that's where everything goes really bad.
Yeah.
And these girls are abused to levels. Yeah? And so these gangs, what I'm trying to say, otherwise I'm going to lose this point, these gangs operate in that crude way, in a way in which other gangs or people don't operate anymore. So that's why they're garnering all the attention.
That's right.
And they say, oh, these Grooming Gangs and they're Pakistani gangs, we have a big problem with them. Now, hold on. Hold on here. Hold on.
There's something I want to mention.
Hold on. Let me lose this point.
Yeah, you go on.
Yeah, we're going to jump from one bit
No.
We've done quite a lot of that already.
Yeah, go on.
Now, this is the thing. Looking at the stats, right, and this is really important to note, 85% of paedophilia is committed by white males. 85%.
That's a stat that we don't hear of.
Yeah, no, but I'm going to...
Yeah.
And it's something like 7%.
Okay.
Or I'm not sure it's a very a smaller
small
number,
number. Okay.
done by
Really?
Asian,
And you've got all.
Pakistani, whatever, and you've got all the varieties. Now, but I'm going to put a
Okay.
point to this.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a point. This a
Okay.
really important point, and by other people. Now, this is really important to note that the reason why the Pakistani grooming gangs have got so much attention because they do it so
overtly.
Yeah, overtly.
Kind of
It's
in your face, so to
it's
speak.
right in your face.
Right. Okay.
They don't seem to care.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. It's point blank. It's just so crude.
I see.
In your face.
That's why.
And it's like,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So therefore, it's an easy target, and also what it does, it takes the attention away from the bigger picture and hones it and focuses it on that thing. And then you have to couple that with racism as well.
That's true. That's a good point. Because I think, I was...
No, hold on. We're just jumping all over it. Let's stay with it.
No.
Right? Now, if you have a problem with Pakistani grooming gangs, they should be locked away. They should be caught and locked up, period. Because people that abuse young girls, why are they still even walking the streets?
That's a very good question.
Why what are they waiting for? Yeah? Because you're giving fuel. They're giving fuel to people like Tom Robinson and other people say, there's a big problem. Why don't they lock them up and deal with it?
That's right.
And there's all this... Listen, you have to understand this, right? This is where we have to look at the bigger picture. You have to look at the bigger picture. It seems like maintaining focal attention on these gangs takes the attention away from elsewhere.
I definitely agree
right?
with that. Yeah.
And what we do know from the research is that where these grooming gangs or pedophiles, children smuggling is a huge
financial,
multi-trillion-dollar industry.
Yeah, big time.
Right? Where people that do it on a sophisticated level, depths that I can't even work out. I'm trying to work it out. I'm doing research. I'm thinking, like, how does that even happen? How does it even happen? And it would seem to me that those level of people who do it on this international scale, right, have got people working in judicial system, education,
organized crime,
Yep. All different levels.
That's right.
They got their people.
They've got the tentacles in everywhere. That's right. Of course they have.
Because you're telling me they can't. All these organizations, even in the UK, can't seem to combine information
together. I know, it's crazy.
To work to deal with it.
That's right.
Because there are different jurisdictions, different issues. Right. How do you categorize? What's this? What's that? There's a whole mess.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
And so all you do have is something like this. 2026, working together to safeguarding children. Where you have to work. You get bored of it. You hear it all the time. You have to safeguarding children for we should share information. Great. Yeah. On a basic level, it works. On a very basic level, it works. But when you start talking about organized crime on a mass scale, it doesn't even touch the size.
No, definitely doesn't.
Because within even Europol, yes, they take, listen, for every 1,000 perpetrators they take down, there's 3,000 waiting to join in.
I know, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
For every a couple of hundred, few hundred children they save, there's another 1,000 children that come into the fold who are trafficked.
That's right.
Yeah? So we have to understand the nature of that. So when we focus our attention on the Muslim grooming gangs, well, it's like looking at a few grains of sand on a beach.
That's right. Yep.
We're losing sight of the bigger problem.
That's right. And people get lost in that.
I'm not saying we shouldn't take our eyes off them. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we need to be looking at this as a bigger
The
problem.
pitch, yeah, that's right.
And there needs to be more effective work done to stop these guys. I mean, think about it, right? Think about this. You've got to put it in perspective, right? How is it possible in 2026, right, to just be roaming around, got money in your pocket, and you just pick up girls? Those girls are vulnerable in their own right, come from dysfunctional backgrounds, but then they go to the police, so they go somewhere because they have been really, really, really damaged by their interactions with these disgusting men. Police try to gather information, and they go, oh, well, we can't do this. And it is so slow to gather evidence.
Of course it is.
And I don't want to change subject, but just this point is how diabolically mad situation we're in. I was looking at a podcast, right? This is the crazy world we're living in right now, crazy. And you have to ask yourself a question. What is going on? Now, hear this. Here we've always had, tough guys, big guys, who always do work. They will go around and, let's say, somebody owes somebody money. They'll employ these tough guys to go and get the money from whoever owes them money, right? Yeah. They'll employ them there. These guys are actively advertising their services, right? Actively advertising their services. If you want some work done, give us a shout. Blah, blah, blah. What are the police doing about that? What are they doing about that? So what's going to happen? We're going to have like rape gangs saying, oh yeah, we're actively looking for, young girls who want to be exploited, come our way. What are our police doing?
Well, that's a whole nother subject.
What are our police doing?
That's a whole other subject.
I know it's. I took the point off someone else, but I'm trying to say this is what happens. But then again, if you're driving down the road and you driving 32 miles an hour in a 30 zone, you got cameras that are snapping you and
24/7. I know it's madness
because there's money involved in that, right?
I know, it's just
I was seeing something the other day about various boroughs spending hundreds of thousands of pounds, millions of pounds on these super cameras.
I know, that could do everything now.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
The councils don't have money. And we did something recent about which ones are going potentially bankrupt.
That's right, yeah.
And you have all these issues currently happening. And you are spending more money. The roads got massive potholes.
Oh, listen, let's not even go there this morning.
Yeah?
Man. I saw one this morning. I never come out of it.
It's like bloody Jumanji.
Oh, seriously, it's crazy.
Things open up and you're going to fall in something.
Oh, seriously.
But the point is, there's so much problems and they're spending money on things that we don't actually need right now. They're narrowing roads, doing this, you name it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like dealing with situations where children are being exploited and being hurt.
Yeah.
You have families or parents who are ill-equipped to deal with their children and help their children where they need support in order to ensure that their child does not remain in that sphere of vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's really what the issue is.
And I think what I would say, Andrew, also is that I think what we do see, and on the back end of that, really, in essence, because I want to kind of come in, especially in terms of the Asian gangs, because what I was thinking about the other angle of this is that imagine then you've got a white girl who then goes to, I don't know, an Asian guy and is groomed by the gangs. And then they then disclose, which has happened, to the police. And then what happens is the police are like, and they see the white girl as tainted products, as kind of...
well, we'll be careful with that.
they see them.
I think it's more about the fact that the police may know that young person and know that
there's a history of
where he is and so
but I
on.
suppose but the point I suppose is this, is that there's obviously biases that are conducted by the police, by social services, and with court outcomes. So what happens is that those young people's voices aren't heard, and actually, as a result, get lost within the system, and that is kind of very, very proper. Now, one of the things that I wanted to mention about was this, is that in October 2025, the Met announced by Sir Mark Rowley that they would be reviewing 9,000 historical cases of child exploitation spanning back 15 years. They estimated 2,000 to 3,000 cases may require re-investigation. That's a lot of cases, you know. Think about that. 2,000 to 3,000 young children, right? Thousands that have been mishandled, that have been failed by the police, by the government, by the system, and voices not being heard. I mean, that's crazy. Now, check this out. This follows the findings of the Casey Review, led by Lewis Casey, into the Metropolitan Police Service Cultural Standards. Published in March 2023, it concluded that women and children in London had been failed. The key findings said they'd been failed, I said women and children, not missed, but failed. And I think my concern, is that since that time, what we have seen is the kind of the spotlight from children kind of just moving just slightly to kind of the Metropolitan Police. And what's been happening of lately is that there's been 8 Met officers removed for corruption, which is I thought was quite interesting.
That always happens though.
Yeah.
There's not nothing new.
Yeah.
Listen, how many senior police officers have been caught, looking at indecent images on their own personal computers, all right? And so we know that, look at Savile and rest of it and so on. I was going to come on to elements like that. These people didn't work independently because you only hear one name, like Jimmy Savile. You hear one name. And so, he abused hundreds of kids or thousands of it is. Listen, he couldn't have done it on his own.
No, definitely not.
He couldn't have done it on his own. There are other people involved, but you never hear about it because what he and others involved in is a network, a serial network
that's right,
of people that are way underground.
And hugely sophisticated in the way that they go about doing it.
So what I want to go on to now is moving away from the stuff that's in the open media where everybody can find, is go on to the sophistication of where it's gone underground, because where they used to operate, like how the Pakistani gangs used to operate, but like that, they no longer operate in that way anymore.
That's right.
Now it's operating in the dark web and underground.
So let me give some stats first, and actually that would sit really nice with that.
Go on.
Okay, right. So 2024 National Strategic Assessments said that between 710 and 840,000 adults were at risk, which obviously you mentioned earlier on, okay? There are roughly about 14.4 million young people under the age of 18 in 2021. 40% of all sexual offences pertain to children, which is phenomenal. Now, 7.5% of all adults in England and Wales are estimated to have been sexually abused before the age of 16, which equates to 3.1 million adults victims of survivors of sexual abuse, which is, I think, it's phenomenal.
But remember, hold on.
Yeah.
Sexual abuse can be within a family member.
No, I know. So it's a bit wide. Yes, a border. I know it's a bit wider than
boyfriend,
that.
girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can't.
I can't. No. I get that.
Yeah.
But even if you looked at the numbers, you said right, 700,000 to 800,000 adults that pose a significant risk in terms of sexual abuse to young children or to
yeah, and that's the ones we know.
Yeah, that's the one they know about. That's right.
But let me take it on from there. That's a good point. Let me take it from there. Now, all of these terrible people have gone underground. Hence, we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein last time and his island.
That's right.
But we did not talk about the children that he procured to come onto the island. All right?
That's right.
And that is not just Jeffrey Epstein. There are many other Jeffrey Epsteins.
That's right. Yep.
Around the world. Now, we know that this is, there's a movie called The Sound of Freedom. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it because it will open your eyes. And obviously, it's a sort of Hollywood type
Type
movie.
movie, yeah.
So you have to take it with a pinch of salt with tongue in cheek.
Although you say that Hollywood didn't want to endorse it. Hollywood didn't want to endorse it.
No.
Oh, yeah,
They,
okay.
they didn't want to endorse
Endorse
it,
it.
but what I'm trying
Yeah,
to tell you,
yeah,
it's a movie,
yeah.
and you have to pretend that it was a documentary. It was a movie, so you had to look at it that they need to sell the movie
Okay, I think it's a real story.
based on.
Yeah.
Come
okay.
on, man.
Okay.
Come
Yeah.
on. Come
okay.
on. We're not a documentary, right? We're a documentary.
Okay.
The kids weren't actually victims, and the actors weren't.
Yeah.
What they were actors, all of them. But they were trying to tell a story about what actually goes on.
That's right. Yeah.
So they couldn't put the complexities in it. They made it very simple.
Cool.
But what they're trying to show, what the movie is trying to show, is the complexity of how it's all gone underground.
That's right. Yeah. Very much so. Yeah.
All these kids are abducted or taken, groomed, whatever it might be, and they're on some sort of catalogue.
Yes, that's right.
Underground, put in there by people who are highly intelligent, very careful, very sophisticated. Now, hold on.
Yeah.
They're people, ordinary people. If you wanted to access it, you wouldn't know what to do.
That's right. Yeah.
How the hell do people access it? Do you see what I'm saying?
No.
That in itself
is definitely.
And how come you have millions of people accessing this shit? Yeah. And you have these organized criminals in countries where law is
not as
effective, and in the way kids are trapped and so on is not as effective, and kids will go missing, or they're abducted from somewhere, or sometimes kids are sold by their parents
that's right,
because they can't afford them, and their parents don't know where they're going. Maybe they're promised that the child's going to go and work somewhere, and the child just goes missing. You see? And they can't say to authorities, "Look, I saw my dad."
You see,
they have to keep that quiet.
That's right.
So a lot of that happens, but whatever way how it happens, there are organized people that are doing this. They're doing this. Now, the thing about it is, which is really what the movie is trying to show you, is that this isn't about a person saying, "Oh, I'll have that one for 30 quid or 40 quid or whatever it is." No. There are thousands of pounds and thousands of dollars passed to access these children. So that's not an ordinary person. That's a person with money.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Right? But what it showed was that these people, they're organizing so much as that they'll have women involved.
I know, that was just
right.
That was mad what I saw in the film.
In fixing it.
Yes, yeah.
So, for example, there'll be a rich guy or girl who will, with that Jepsen,
yes, yeah.
he had women,
actually,
a lot of women working around him.
No, he did actually, indeed, yes, he did.
I don't think there was even a man.
Yeah.
All women were fixers.
Actually, a good point, actually, yeah.
Right, not men. What men was there? Think about it. Not that we know of.
No.
We know Ghislaine Maxwell was a woman.
And, there was
and you had models working as well. So it was mainly women who were the fixers. He had clients.
And they would...
who wanted a certain things. He would show them, look, how about that? The woman would fix it.
And that's it.
To happen. So there is distance between the client and the actual procurement process. Right? Yeah. Which really shows you how sophisticated this thing is. Yeah. And even to today, all you had was, the ex-Prince Andrew. Yeah. He's the only one's getting grilled. But he hasn't been put in prison.
No, he hasn't.
He's just been punished and whipped.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
But he's not gone to prison.
I'll say
he'll probably go to exile.
I think that. Yeah. That would sound more.
That's where he's going.
Case. Yeah.
Right. Case. And who else? There'll probably be no convictions.
Out of all of that,
there'll probably be no conviction.
That's just crazy, isn't it?
Do we know what happened to the children? Has anybody mentioned the children?
The children I know.
All of about his list and who's on a list.
You're right.
None of the children.
That's right. Very true.
You see?
They get lost in this, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Children get lost. And so in this process,
Yeah.
when we're talking about the grooming gangs, words about Pakistani men, grooming gangs,
right. Yeah.
losing the sight of the children.
That's right.
And the problem is, again, is many people say, no, we're not losing sight of children because we are concerned about children. That's why we're doing it to stop this happening to the children. But the reality is that what circumstances have led that child becoming so vulnerable that it can be preyed upon by these disgusting men? What is the government doing to help parents who are ill-equipped to parent? Is my point. To reduce the risk of exploitation of their children.
You know what, Andrew?
See, that's the key.
No, you're right. And
comment on that. What do you think?
What I think, when I was looking a little bit into that particular area in terms of kind of prevention and education, and actually the only place I saw that was any education, and it shouldn't really be falling on their what's on their heads, is school. School's the only place where you have relationship, sexual education. That's the only place.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. But you see, the thing is, my point is this. Every single thing lines up
the skirt of school. I know, it's ridiculous.
School.
I know it's ridiculous.
School.
I agree with you.
You got schools teaching children how to potty train
Listen,
children.
I know, changing nappies. I know.
Doing this. It's got. So
yeah.
Accountability for a parent is gone.
I know, it's madness. Yep, I agree with you. Definitely. Yep.
So shouldn't there be help from the government with?
That's right. And definitely doing that. Definitely giving them some kind of.
When we started doing what we're doing and working with younger people and adults and also we do a cross range of different things, and we could clearly see there was a huge need for support and help for parents.
That's right.
With parenting. Not just about how to change nappies and this, but parents needing psychological support and help.
That's right.
You know, whether that be therapy, talking therapies, whatever it might be, they need help. There is no help available. So those children go back into those environments every night. And so no matter how much help they may get in school or elsewhere, they still have to go back to the same thing.
That's right. And that becomes their blueprint for life in terms of where they go and what they do. So, and then we understand and we ask ourselves, why is there a problem? Really?
It's not looked at in a joint that way.
That's right.
All people are doing is saying, right, yeah, we filled that out, dot the I there, cross the T there, that's it. Haven't we done a wonderful job? No, you haven't.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. Because it's like this. If you may put in support in schools for the young person, helping them to get through school and talking about this or talk about that, or try to educate them about keeping safe and that stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
Can't knock that work. That work is good.
Yeah.
But if they had to go home,
that's right. That's
what open the fridge door empty, mum kicking off, dad's not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
He might not even be there.
Problems,
that's right, yeah.
Sibling rivalry, all that sort of stuff. All that good work, that child has to bear that.
That's right.
And again, boys operate different from girls. So girls are going to take on things in a much more emotional
type of way,
and emotional damage is going to be actually more significant and play out more because, again, going out on the road, walking up and down, she is more vulnerable.
That's right. Yep.
You see, that's the way I would see it.
Yeah.
So, all I'm saying is the takeaways from what we're saying is, look, if you have children, it's really important to make sure that your home is a safe place where they can be. If you see yourself as being emotionally charged and having problems and issues, you got to come out of your own issue for a minute and recognize to yourself, how is your behavior, your lack of emotional attention on your child affecting them? And is that making them more vulnerable to these nasty disgusting guys that are out there who will target your child in any way. And this is about also, again, why kids get groomed for gangs, groomed for this, that,
That's right,
all
yeah.
sorts of things happening here, yeah? So we have to think about that as a society and really encouraging governments to take a much broader look at this and stop going into jargon, terms of reference, and semantics on words that play out into meaning nothing at the end of the day. We have to hold them more accountable, is what I'm saying, to safeguard things. Anyway, we have run out of time, but thanks so much for tuning in. I wonder what your views are, but please like, share, and subscribe, and keep subscribing. Temper to subscribe because it really helps the channel. And for those who have already subscribed, those who are liking, we really appreciate it. Keep it going. Help our channel grow so that we can expand the conversations and even perhaps one day even have guests that we can have some even more interesting debate and so on. And then eventually we'd want to probably do something even live where you can comment live and we can answer your
Interact
questions
live,
as
yeah.
well. But please help us build the channel and we appreciate you all. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.